So 25 seconds, we're back into action here for the second half of this one. Rocky Mountain on top 97-32 over Wasatch. We'll start off with Ole Chole on the line for Wasatch and Mars Furiosity for Rocky. Rocky really in control of the first half. Ole Chole looks for the outside, gets bumped out. Meanwhile, Mars is trapped behind a cube out there, getting knocked to the ground, but recycled way back is Ole Chole. Pack switch place on the track. Rocky out front. Now Ole Chole spins around the forward block, picking up lead. Good way to start the second half for Wasatch. I noticed when Wasatch came out of the locker room, they were all smiling and happy and cheering. They were getting pumped up for roller derby. So that's the way, the attitude to come back in with. Now we've had a star pass to Kiki Dickey. Two points being picked up by Wasatch on that jam. Now we've got Smash 'em for Wasatch and Coyote for Rocky. Coyote, boy, she loves that inside. Maybe I shouldn't give that away, but dancing on the inside line repeatedly for those lead calls. Coyote now in scoring position, mixing it up, while Smash 'em continues to be tied up behind the Assault and Peppa and company. Now out on the initial pass, so Coyote rolling along, trying to get those final 2 points, but a look back and call it off. 5 points for Rocky Mountain. Tomorrow's lineup, very interesting. We'll start off at 8 o'clock with Boulder versus Treasure Valley. At 8 o'clock Mountain Time, that is. At 10 o'clock, we'll have Sacred City versus No Coast. Now, Havoc on the track versus Carpe Jugulum. It'll be Havoc picking up lead for Rocky. Rocky coming out with the same intensity we saw in the first half. Havoc crashes into the pack, gets knocked down. Both packs squeeze together in turn one. That is a whole lot of blockers in one spot. Now, Carpe Jugulum recycled back, as well as Havoc, but Havoc is out, danced by on the outside, picking up lead. And we'll have a star pass to Triple X, and a quick call off after 9 points for Rocky Mountain. Now 111-34. We'll have Fiona Grapple, Make You Pay, and Assault and Pepper blocking for Rocky. Harper Bazaar almost on the front end, past turn 2, picks up lead. Harper once again mixing it up with the pack, dances down the inside line of the far straightaway, picks up 5 points. Rocky with staunch defense. And then initial pass completed by Ole Chole. Harper Brazar calls it off. 10-point jam for Harper Brazar. It's 121 to 34. Rocky leading. 25 minutes remaining in the first half. The second half, that is. Mars Furiosity on the line for Rocky against Smashley. Mars so quick at picking up lead. Blink and you'll miss it. Smashley out, but track cut for Smashley, so power jam for Mars Furiosity. That is not what Wasatch needed right now. Cowbells galore as Mars puts 5 up. That's 10 on this jam so far. Mars bumped outside. Getting some good offensive help from the Rocky Blockers. Rocky Blockers doing a great job of going from offense to defense at the appropriate times. Smashley crashed down. Smashley picking up a second track cut on this jam. So 24 seconds left in the jam. Mars Furiosity already with 20 points and scoring more right now. Direction of gameplay on Triple X. 25 now. And seconds left to go, a couple seconds. Snags them all once again. That is a monster 30-point jam for Mars Furiosity. And Rocky Mountain Roller Girls dominating this matchup. Incredible, holding Wasatch to only 34 right now. And I've talked a lot about these jammers out here for Rocky Mountain, but how about the Blockers? The Blockers holding Wasatch, a quality team like Wasatch, to only 34 points. They've got to figure something out here for this. Still lots of time left with 22 minutes left in the game, but you can't give up 30-point jams when you're down at this level. Smiles all the way around on the Rocky bench and the fans in the crowd here. Of course, the host of this tournament, so they got the hometown crowd behind them. And wouldn't that be sweet to ride this tournament all the way to championship victory? I'm sure that's what Rocky Mountain is hoping for. Last year, Denver was here at the tournament, and Denver dominated. So, dominated all of the teams, but most of the teams in this are in the D2 rankings, and there are maybe a couple of them that make it up to D1, and maybe a couple that fall off the radar from D2s. We'll see how that all plays out. when the WFTDA announces what teams make it and what teams don't on July 15th. So Coyote jamming unopposed. Coyote having a great game out here. First game back from ACL surgery and doing great, but on this one, it's going to be Smashley picking up lead, but Coyote following right in. Smashley gets knocked to the ground by a Salt and Pepper. Does not pick up any points, and yet Coyote swings in and picks up two. Everything going Rocky Mountain's way here. Havoc for Rocky Mountain, Ole Chole for Wasatch. Direction the gameplay on Bruiserigo of Wasatch. Wasatch can't get a break here with Havoc picking up lead once again. Rocky, obviously, they told me they've been practicing very hard and they were super confident about the victory tonight in this one, and they're certainly trying to put this game out of reach. 20 minutes remaining, so anything could happen, but it'd have to be a complete reversal of fortunes right now for Wasatch Roller Derby. 4 more picked up for Rocky Mountain on that one, 157-34. Wasatch kind of stuck at that number 34 for a while now. The loser of this game will go on to face Kansas City tomorrow at 12 o'clock. And the winner, we'll tell you that in a second. As Rippin' Rooster out to jam again against Carpe Jugulum. Cut track on Carpe Jugulum. Rocky doing a good job of forcing those cut tracks, bumping all the way over the line and just running through the blocks. His Rippin' Rooster really attacking the front line, but now recycled back. And 5 more. Carpe Jugulum back on the track. Jammer Star in hand. Still looking for that initial pass. Now going to call it off before Triple X can get in after the star pass. So 10 more. 167 for Rocky Mountain. Still 34 for Wasatch. Rocky apparently right now has Wasatch's number. And these two teams were ranked side by side, 45 and 46 in the rankings. Now Mars out for lead. Picking up lead very quickly on just about every jam right now is Rocky. And now we have a forearm penalty being called on Mars Furiosity. We'll lose that lead designation. Jam will last another minute 25. Opportunity here for Smashley to score some points and break that 34-point barrier that has haunted Wasatch thus far. Smashley now through with 5. Thank goodness. Smashley back into the mix. facing the tripod. Very effective tripod. And a Salt and Pepper, just amazing. An original member of this team and continually pushing her players into the opposing players to push them out of bounds, kind of orchestrating that from the forward bracing position. Still one of the top players in the game. Right there, as I said it, clears the door, opens it wide up for her jammer, and then jumps right back in and knocks down Smashley. So a seasoned veteran looking strong, in great shape. A true veteran leader on the track. Jam winding down here, but Mars getting back into the mix one more time, so didn't pick up points on that pass, but it was a 12-13 jam in favor of Wasatch. Just under 16 minutes remaining. So the winner of this game will head into the semifinal tomorrow at 8 o'clock against Jet City. Jet City with 2 big victories already in this tournament. Semifinal matchups almost concrete here. Lead call for Wasatch. It's Ole Chole. But Coyote not too far behind. Ole Chole taken to the ground and diving into the mix. Picking up 1 point. Snuck in there, but 2 points for Wasatch. 180-49. Exactly 15 minutes remaining. Havoc for Rocky. Carpe Jugulum for Wasatch. That's going to be Havoc. Such quick footwork for Havoc, making short work of this pack almost every time she's on the floor. That lateral movement, great at disrupting the braced walls of Wasatch, kind of breaking them apart by moving laterally and kind of creating some of her own blocks. Notice that, just starts from one end, goes to the other, disrupting and sliding around the outside. Havoc in the pack, and Havoc on the scoreboard. 5 in the sky. Havoc now caught behind the Wasatch wall and knocked to the inside. Pulled back into turn 2. Have seen some good blocking, such as that out here by Bruiser Ego with the recycle. Wasatch doing a pretty good job individually, but not a good enough team effort in locking down those tripods. Too easily disrupted. We saw that problem earlier today for Kansas City. Star pass to Riot Atcha of Wasatch. That'll force the call off. But does sneak in for 3 points. A 14-3 jam in favor of Rocky Mountain. 12 and a half remaining. 194 Rocky Mountain, 52 Wasatch. Smashley versus Harper Bazaar. Smashley so strong. Pushes out of the wall of Rocky. Now immediately, Salt and Pepper drops back to block for her jammer, but to no avail as Harper is knocked to the inside, and Smashley will call it off with 5. Got a shout out here from Rocky Mountain. They wanted to thank the Derby community for being so wonderful. They really appreciate being a part of the great WFTDA tradition and community. They would also like to thank all of the officials and announcers around the world. So that was very kind of them to think of the entire Derby community and all the officials and announcers. So good stuff. All around the world even. So. Now a timeout for Rocky Mountain. Again, big smiles all the way down the bench. They are very happy with their performance here today. And so are their fans. Their fans are so happy they've chilled out on the cowbells a little bit. At this point, it's a little bit of insult to injury as they are up 194 to 57. Rocky with 2 in the box right now, but now the information I'm looking at here says that Rocky is ranked 46th and Wasatch 45th. So in the makings of another upset here, and very possible to be 6 out of 7 games today ranking upsets here at BESTERNS. Mars Furiosity fighting through for lead for Rocky. Ole Chole. Oh my goodness. Big slam into the pack there by Mars Furiosities. Skater down but getting up quickly. That was Penny Slane. Getting back up. We're glad she's okay. 4-3 jam there in favor of Wasatch. And timeout Wasatch. Pretty incredible that with 10 minutes left in the game, Rocky Mountain has held Wasatch to 61 points and scored 197. I'm very interested to see how this plays out. If it plays out true to form and Rocky goes on to win it, they'll be facing Jet City tomorrow at 8 o'clock. And the other semifinal is at 6 o'clock. Sac City versus Arizona. So the winners of those 2 games will go on to the final, the championship game, at 5 o'clock Mountain Time on Sunday. You're going to want to tune in for that. It'll be a matchup between Sac City, Arizona, Jet City, and probably Rocky at this point. So never want to call them too early, but this one is pretty much in hand for Rocky Mountain. As Jam 13 getting ready to start here in the second half. Smashley, one of the highlights here for Wasatch, powers through for lead, but as usual cannot contain Coyote very long. Coyote rolling along. 4 points. Nope. Did she sneak in? No, she did not. Smashley picking up points, though. 3. Wasatch wanted to give a shout out to all their fans at home, all their families who support them through all of this derby. It takes a huge community, including the people who aren't in the derby community, supporting the people at home. And now another lead call. That's Ole Chole for Wasatch. Havoc now out of the pack as well. Ole Chole being encouraged by the coach to continue. Coach yelling to the pack, defense! And they've got Havoc locked down right now, but Ole Chole trapped as well. 4-on-4 defenses, and the packs are clustered together in turn 4. Big disruption of the pack happening from Love Hurts. Love Hurts so good at those offensive blocks. .201 for Rocky Mountain now. 71 for Wasatch. 8 minutes remaining. Tell you what, if you're looking for a tournament next year, and this BESTERNS tournament is extraordinary. We have been hosted so well as officials and announcers. We've had wonderful food provided for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, like full meals. And everyone is very happy about that. Rocky Mountain being a very gracious host for us. And I'd heard great things about it. Rocky Mountain's been hosting this tournament for 4 years now. And I knew people loved it, but now I know. Rocky Mountain ended up last year in the D1s in Montreal and got that 7th place finish. Whereas Wasatch was in D2 Lansing and picked up 4th place, and a 3-point loss prevented a medal for them. So tomorrow morning, 8 o'clock, Boulder County versus Treasure Valley. 10 o'clock, Sacred City versus No Coast. 12 o'clock, Kansas City against, it looks like, Wasatch. Should be great games. And then our 2 o'clock and 4 o'clock games will be determined by the winners and losers of the earlier 3 games in the day. And, of course, I've told you about the 6 and 8 o'clock games. Again, we have no runner for the announcer booth here. It's a little bit of a primitive setup. But we didn't think we were going to have Wi-Fi until about a week ago. We didn't think we were going to be able to stream here, and so it wasn't a consideration for us. And then all of a sudden we're streaming, and I'm glad we are, even under somewhat limited conditions. Single announcer. That was also slightly intimidating, is to come and announce an entire bout on streaming by myself, but it's all right. I prefer to have someone there to bounce things off of and talk during timeouts like this so that we can communicate, someone can run and get the information that we need. I'm really liking the structure of the way the WFTDA has it set up now, with one house announcer doing a somewhat limited call. People at tournaments generally know what's going on in the game and don't need a ton of information being shouted at them over the loudspeakers, so just the pertinent information being shared. and some crowd wrangling duties. Have also moved to having an MC, which is my favorite position to work in. Again, looking down the benches here, Rocky Mountain full of smiles, very exuberant. And the Wasatch bench not quite so happy. And a little bit frustrating, I think. Come in against the team that you're ranked 1 point higher than and to suffer a loss like this. Gotta love Wasatch, though. They have great spirit. They've been pumping each other up throughout the game. And now Smashley out there with a big smile, ready to try and finish this one off with class. Rippin' Rooster for Rocky Mountain. Now Smashley recycled by a Salt and Pepper. Smashley goes down right in between all of her blockers. Rippin' Rooster back and forth on the track now, getting some help from a Salt and Pepper. As Smashley will take a seat in the penalty box, and Rippin' Rooster will pick up lead. Rippin' Rooster facing 3 on the front end. Now bumped back in turn 2, all the way to turn 1. Smashley out of the penalty box, looking for the apex, does not get it. That was prevented by Violet Assaults. Two in front for Rippin' Rooster to beat. Stays in bounds with some footwork on the inside line and picks up lead. Or 5 points, I should say. Smashley threw for the initial pass as well, and waiting for the call off to take as much time off the clock as possible in this position with 6 minutes remaining. Rocky Mountain playing the time game. So as stated, they'll be taking on Jet City tomorrow. Jet City had big wins over Boulder County and Tucson today, including that massive upset that's worth talking about again. Ole Chole getting knocked to the ground. Mars Furiosity taking the same route and having better results. Mars in there trying to pick up a few more. All these points count for rankings. Mars goes down after picking up 2. 5 minutes remaining, 2:12. Rocky Mountain, 71 Wasatch. So that big victory by Jet City, beating a team that was ranked 32 points higher by 90 points, beating Tucson. Tucson was ranked 26th. Jet City was ranked 58th. Unbelievable. That one floored us here today. And certainly Jet City will be moving up in the rankings after that. And it makes for a very interesting matchup against Rocky Mountain tomorrow. We've got Coyote picking up lead. Smashley smashing into the blockers. Almost free. But Coyote scoring and jumping around the outside. That great toe stop style where gets those toe stops on there, but that time a forearm called on Coyote. Coyote with some guns. You don't want one of those forearms, let me tell you. Smashley weaving back and forth. Smashley had looked very good in this game, or does. Continuing to roll, grabs 5 more for Wasatch. Wasatch bench cheering their teammate and positive and cheering on the sideline. So great sportsmanship here in true WFTA style. Smashley with 5 more, so a big jam there for Smashley. On the penalty by Coyote. Coyote back in, working the line. Spins around the inside and is through. Coyote putting 4 on the board as well. Smashley now with the pass. Smashley looking a little winded on the outside. Jam time winding down here, under 5 seconds. Riot Atcha grabbing 4 points. So a 14-4 jam in favor of Wasatch. Coach cheering them on, keeping it positive. Coach F and Ref. Also doing a good job over there, keeping the team positive, is Wanton Rebellion. Ooh, I like that name, Wanton Rebellion. I'm wanting a rebellion of sorts. So, look at that bracing up front by Salt and Pepper. I know I've said her name a lot, but just amazing everything she does out there on the track. Lead being picked up here by Wasatch Ole Chole, seeming to pick up some momentum late in this one. If they'd played this way the entire game, we might have a different story. Ole Chole 4 points. Havoc still being held. Now through on for 4 points as well. And it'll be called off. Rocky Mountain 221, Wasatch 91. Just over 1 minute to play. Rocky, fight, and they sure did in this one. Pack crashing down as Harper Brazar picks up lead, in control of the clock. At this point, just looking to put some more points on the board. As time winds down, coach going to let him go. Going to call that one off and prevent any more point scoring. Maybe trying to hold them below 100 points. Timeout called by Wasatch with 10 seconds remaining. Coach F and Ruff bringing them together for some last-minute conversation. If you're in and around the Colorado area, you're going to want to hit up House of Skate. I was checking out their booth here, and they have everything you need for roller derby. As well, they've got skateboards, scooters. They carry equipment for speed, jam, and, of course, roller derby. Pretty impressive collection of stuff they have here. I'm sure you can also hit them up online. That's House of Skate. Skate spelled SK8. So here we are down to what should be the final jam. for the last jam, we'll have just the way we started the game and the second half. Ole Chole for Wasatch, Mars Furiosity. And this will be Ole Chole. And they're going to run this one the whole 2 minutes. That's what Coach F and Ruff is telling them over there. Now gets bumped out of bounds by Kiki. What fight down to the very end for Wasatch. Mars picking up 4. Ole matching those 4, spinning by Kiki. Wasatch playing with a lot of determination and heart here throughout this game, just outmatched and outgunned by Rocky Mountain pretty much throughout both periods. Rocky has put together an amazing team. Very impressed with this. That is some big-time point scoring at 233 points to Wasatch 98, our unofficial score right now. As you can see, the crowd rushing out to the floor all the way around. Very happy with all their cowbells. And I know it's been a long day for us announcers, NSOs, referees, and we have great appreciation for all the staff from Rocky Mountain that has made this a fantastic first day of the tournament. And I'm loving this new thing they're doing here at, not new, but pretty much everybody is thanking the other team as part of their chant and thanking the officials in that chant. So very classy. Rocky Mountain victorious, getting congratulations from the other teams here and the fans, of course, who came out in abundance to see this one. High fives all the way around. A lot of good friends out here in this roller derby community in BESTERNS. I'd like to thank all the coaches for doing a great job and keeping their teams focused. And of course now taking their congratulatory round is Wasatch. Good stuff. Wasatch classy as always, but right now I'm sure everybody's ready for some rest. It's late in the day. We started super early and ended super late. I'm tired and I didn't even skate. So, but we'll be on tomorrow. Again, in the morning, we've got 8 o'clock, Boulder versus Treasure Valley. 10 o'clock, Sacred City versus No Coast. Kansas City versus Wasatch. And then moving into the evening, the 2 and 4 games, we don't know who's going to play in those yet. 6 o'clock, Sac City versus Arizona. 8 o'clock, Jet City versus Rocky. And 2 of those 4 teams will be in contention for the championship game. And we'll be running Sunday. Games will be 9 o'clock, 11 o'clock, 1 o'clock, 3 o'clock, and then the championship game at 5. Well, I've been Raucous Ron here, and I hope you enjoyed the game. We'll see you tomorrow. Thank you.